the back lunge is the easiest one to teach from a starting standpoint. So if Frances just comes up here, yeah, she's gonna just step back and then stand back up. And she can, same leg or alternate legs, doesn't really matter. Same things we're cueing for. Posture, bracing. So when she gets to the top on the first one, she went here. She needs to keep that tight at the top. A cueing thing I'll use is I'll say, some people want to still shift their weight to the back leg, like that. So I'll put my hand about a couple inches behind their low back and say, your back shouldn't touch my hand when you do the lunge. Or just lightly brush against it. And sometimes I'll do it like when you come down, go ahead. I'll just do a little push like this to make sure they stay there. And when go ahead, do a couple more. So when we're doing this, we want to make sure that knee's forward. Some people will say shin vertical. If your shin's vertical, your weight's shifted to the back leg. In order to keep the load on the front leg, you have to get that knee forward. Heel still stays down, and it's still aligned properly. But now, so if we look at where the line from the sternum is, it's actually by your heel more instead of arch of the foot. So if someone has a long femur, they're not going to get very deep into the lunge. So you might need to lift your hips up a little. There. That's going to get her into position. Someone with a longer femur is going to have to come up even higher. If you have a short femur, yeah, you can get lower than level like that and still stay in the position. But longer femur is typically going to have to be up just slightly, which is still fine. Yeah, there's more force going through the lumbar region and the back, but that's just natural biomechanics for them. Come on, back up. Good, so with the back lunge, hand behind the back. Then we've got side lunges. The same technique applies to all of them. Remember when I went down to here, move the foot around? Doesn't matter where your foot is, as long as you're loading over that one leg. So a couple different ways we can do side lunges. We can do dynamic, where you lunge into it, or you can do static, where you're taking the one leg out. So let's do 3 of each kind. So dynamic, and come out and hold there, hold there. So just outside, we want to try and get your hip to the side. There you go. So she's strided a little far. If you bring this foot in just slightly, there you go. Now she can get her hip over top of there, bracing the core, and all the way up again. Good. So this is where she needs to get to, hip to there. Awesome. Now, if someone's having trouble getting the stride width, what I'll often say is squat down, deep squat, shift your weight to one side, put the leg out. That's your width. You can mark it on the floor for them, or just have them stay static like this and go from one side to the other side. So try that. Squat down, shift your weight to one side there. So that's going to be her width. Now when she gets down, she can still get the hip to the side. Other side. Good. And what we're looking for here, knee and toe alignment, bracing, posture, same cues all the time. Back up. Good. All right. Common thing is when people get down to the bottom, see the pelvis position or pelvic position starting to change. Cue on that. Make sure they're maintaining those lines that we talked about. Pelvic, there, yeah. Find the neutral position. So this here, stick your tailbone out a little. Yeah, so there, most people are gonna be like, oh, that's fine. There's too much lordosis here. She's not having the core bracing. As soon as she connects, now that glute's gonna fire a little better. Everything's solid. If I push in here, she's braced. When she relaxes that, there's no stability in that system anymore. All right, diagonal lunge.
45.
Same thing here, 45 degree. It doesn't really matter the angle you go at, but we're still keeping everything pointed forward. A lot of people, when they do diagonal lunges, they turn, and they're essentially doing front lunges, but they've just rotated to get there. Diagonal lunge is different. Diagonal lunge, everything points forward, but we step out on a diagonal. So everything's still here. Now when we push back, we're creating an angle, a force vector on that position that's different. So let's try a couple each side. Hold here, hold there. So often what we do is people want to keep this foot down, heel release. We're transferring weight to the front leg, so we want to cue that heel release because that's more of a, call it athletic or sporting type position. Keeping that heel on the ground just changes the position. The length of the stride matters less as long as we're getting the foot over top. Like we could do a speed skater hop and bound into that position, exact same thing. So you're going to notice a lot of transfer between the lunge pattern and gait pattern, especially if you're doing walking lunges or bounds. Those are gait patterns. You still get into the lunge position because of the range of motion, but there's a crossover.
Thank you for watching another video on teachmovement.com. Now before you go, we have one more thing. As a holiday present for you to set you up for success in 2024, we're giving away one of our most popular mini courses called the ABCs of Functional Fitness. Link is in the description below. Check it out. Again, totally free, our gift to you. Happy holidays.